Welcome, everyone. My name is John here with my brother Jake and good friend Brad here to sift the wreckage of last week and talk about what's left. Cheap equipment, no budget. We are a work in progress, a punk rock garage band of podcast, adding our voices to resistance as loudly as we can. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe. Well, that was interesting. No flip flop places on the screen. That was distracting. Anyway, please like and subscribe. The Derealization Nation is growing thanks to you. Thank you all for being here. Please tell your friends and fellow travelers. Follow us on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Substack, and of course, YouTube. We regularly share newsworthy and funny posts from us and other sources. It pays to follow us, and it's free. Consider supporting our work by making a pledge on Substack. But let's get into it. So, guys, this week, finally, someone gets fired for Signalgate. Tom Homan and Stephen Miller step up the insane fascist language. Trump is either a liar or a moron, and the line is thin as the toupee paces to his head. He humiliated himself on live television and ran back to his safe spaces of a rally and one of his cabinet ass-kissing sessions that are so brutally sycophantic they even grossed out Ann Coulter. Quietly, the war is escalating in Lebanon and with Iran, and when the U.S. is losing billions of dollars in drones and even a warplane, the crypto presidency takes on a whole new level of corruption. It's a loaf so long it climbed out of the water this week. It's time for Punch in the Turbo.
Not scaring Ann Coulter.
Dude, right? It's fucked up.
We've gone too far.
Dude, she said, can we stop it, please, with these fucking cabinet meetings, like Kim Jong-un style cabinet meetings? All right. Brad, let's start with you. What turd make you take a quick picture just to make sure everybody would believe that it happened?
Yeah, so my pick is Stephen fucking Miller and his existence, bro.
Yeah.
The thing that just has me the most fired up is that these motherfuckers will sit and bitch about how the education system is indoctrinating these children and indoctrinating these kids, and teaching them to be anti-American and blase skip and da-da-da-da-da. We can't let these educators keep indoctrinating these kids. And then this motherfucker goes in a press conference, right? And this dude says that if you do not instill pro-America propaganda into our children, then you will not get any federal funding. It's just that simple. If you aren't willing to indoctrinate the kids the way we want you to, we won't give you any money. So essentially, if you're not willing to whitewash history and teach these kids that America's never done wrong and that this regime that we're looking at is good for America, then you will not receive federal funding. So even though they claim that they want to give rights back to the states and let the states decide the curriculum, well, for you fucking idiots back home that don't know, states already decide their own curriculum. It's not decided on a national level. It is decided per state. And now the federal government is telling you that if you don't preach pro-America propaganda to these kids and tell them that everything's perfect in America, we will not give you any money.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking insane to me. It is crazy. It's crazy to me that they can say this stuff about how one thing and then do a complete opposite. So please rest assured, they very much actually do want your kids indoctrinated. They just don't want them to be free thinkers, is what it is. That's the problem, is that they want their brand of indoctrination. And Stephen Miller really went into a press conference and said that out loud.
Yeah.
And the Trump supporters are like, right on, brother. Hell yeah. Pro-America. America's great. Well, listen, buddy, I love America, but I understand we have our faults because I've read history and I've learned things inside and outside of a school that makes me understand that America is not this without flaw country. And if you think it is, you are part of the problem in this country. Like, the issue is that people have stopped questioning things at this point. The people that are for this administration have stopped questioning anything. They only believe what is preached to them through Twitter, what is preached to them through Fox News. They don't want to hear an outside opinion because it doesn't matter to them. So they are just rejecting it at every opportunity. And we have people like Stephen fucking Miller standing in front of the whole country and telling them that this is acceptable. This is exactly what we want. Personally, I don't want that. I don't want that for my children. I don't want that for your children. I don't want that for anybody. I think that we should lay out the facts to them. We should teach them real history, not just the side that makes us look like the fucking hero in every story. Because unfortunately, we're not the hero in every story, and that's just a statement of fact.
Yeah.
And the fact that we can go on here and keep preaching this shit it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's just so disappointing that they can claim all this stuff, and then when it comes down to taking action, their actions are completely opposite of what they are saying.
Yeah.
So that's my turd. Stephen Miller, you're a piece of shit, bro.
Yeah. No, Stephen Miller is a huge fucking turd. Huge turd. You know, just for instance, to your point, if people understood what the abuses that the Alien Enemies Act and how embarrassing and horrifying it was, the way that the Japanese community was treated during World War II, and if that had been taught in schools, people would have immediately associated the Alien Enemies Act correctly with horrifying abuses, things that we don't want repeated. But of course, we don't teach that, so nobody knows the other times in history where this act was used, and every time it's been used for horrifyingly awful things. And if you insist that everything is perfect all the time, you make no progress. And it's just you will the countries die just like that. This way you have Russia the way that it is, and where people it hasn't progressed or moved forward in years. Just the oligarchs have their money, and everybody else has cheap groceries and no wages with which to buy them. And it's where we're headed. Where we're headed.
It's never going to get better.
No.
If we continue to allow this behavior.
No, this part here. There are forces like Donald Trump is an idiot and an asshole, but this part here is part of that larger scheme of the Republican Party over the years from Reagan, who warned of the educated proletariat being the problem and instituted the idea of student debt. So, like, this has all been part of the plan from the start. This is extremely important to the fundamental Republican agenda for domination. Like this, Trump is the result of that, but he is not the mastermind behind it. People like Stephen Miller are. People like the authors of Project 2025 are. The Heritage Foundation are that. So yeah, the people who bred all those federal judges to overturn Roe v. Wade. It's part of that kind of scheme. This is a long-term goal being realized for the Republican Party. And they even have a case in the Supreme Court now where they're going to be able to start taking, if they rule in their favor, which they likely will, be able to start using public funds to fund private Christian charter schools. So, just insane levels of corruption, all aimed at the education system. So
they understand that they cannot control an educated population.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Even the slightest education shows the thinness of all their arguments.
My fears in all this is that they understand very much what they're doing, and they have to understand that it's not getting a positive response.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not our country, but in January, the Conservative Party of Canada was plus 25 to win their election. Plus 25. And they saw what was happening when a conservative ran America for 3 months and was like, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not.
We'll have
it's not happening. So my question is do they have any plan to relinquish power? Because they have to understand that this is not This is not voting well with the voters.
No, they do not. It's part of their project. Like this is clearly like the SAVE Act. That's all part of it. Like they do not plan on having real elections. They have a name for this kind of democracy, where the elections, like the kind of democracy that is, say, Russia, where there's an election, sure, but y'all know who's going to win. You know what I mean? Like it's all performance.
Yeah, they declare the winner the day before the election.
Yeah. Yeah. Putin doesn't have any moving boxes. You know, it's pretty well set. So anyway, yeah, that is a huge, huge turd and just fundamental to the overall cause and problem that we have. So I mean, it's a good deep cut. I like that one. Thanks for that one, Brad.
Of course, thank you.
Absolutely. Jake, what story chipped the porcelain for you this week?
Jake, show me that fucking notes, baby.
Okay. All right. I'm going to rip on the heterosexuals. Not all of them. Not all of them, because there are some.
Okay.
They try their best. Those sweet things. But the first thing that caught my eye when I was going through stuff was the Trump administration demanding that Leah Thomas remove her records for swimming from Pennsylvania University, or the school be defunded. That was the first thing. And when someone in power like that starts this hate, it causes a ripple effect that people think it's okay, and everything's okay with hating certain minorities and everything like that. And I just kept going down this rabbit hole. Once again, there's more, they call it Hetero Awesome Fest. Hetero Awesome Fest. These have happened before. They put them in the middle of Pride Month to celebrate heterosexual pride. The story is from a bar in Idaho, Old State Saloon, where during the month, heterosexual month, cisgender men get free beers, and heterosexual couples get discounts on Wednesdays. The owner, Fitzpatrick, this dumbass, quoted he said the LGBTQ plus folks marching down the street doing disgusting and criminal activities while demanding to be celebrated. LGBTQ plus agenda is wicked, perverse, and victimizes children. I don't know if you've been also following the news, but lately I haven't seen many trans women being arrested for sexual abuse.
And a couple pastors.
Yeah. We're not the ones to fear. And it's just all this rippling of this hate. You just see it more and more. There's women in Indianapolis went into a queer jazz bar and wearing a Trump 2024 hat and acting like she didn't know why they were mad. Like acting like she was the victim. Quoted that she was being discriminated against because they would not give her a drink.
Nancy Mace, is that you?
Literally, it boggles my mind. It's terrible. These people just get this backwards idea that, oh, well, the president's doing it. I can just go out and harass anybody that I see that I don't like.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me so mad. Makes me so mad.
Well, the Justice Department has pretty much annihilated the Civil Rights Department, but the parts that remain are there to guard against anti-white discrimination. I know I've been discriminated against my whole life.
I told you guys before that I Googled cis white people discrimination in Google, and all it came up was trans hate.
Yeah.
They've even backwards Google searched it. I mean, the UK Prime Minister now is backing on because he sees other political leaders being okay with it.
Yeah.
So when one country does it, oh, well, I guess I can too, because he's still in power.
That is how it works.
Oh.
It's a bit.
Trump will be our next pope.
Yes. Yes. Thanks to very heterosexual Lindsey Graham.
Yes. Love her.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, there was a point where Lindsey Graham made sense. He would say things where I'd be like, hey, you might actually be onto something there, brother. And then he was actually like, I think it'd be great if Trump was the Pope. Fuck you, you fucking idiot. Just when I thought you were turning the corner.
Are actually like, yeah, that's a good idea. Like, no, it's not.
Bro, they are. I'm telling you, this propaganda has really gotten a hold of them.
Yeah.
Like you said, they think they're victims, bro. They think that they're fucking victims.
Yes.
It's
100%.
crazy.
There's a big push now too. Like magazines like Cosmo and stuff don't really exist anymore. There's a big push too from conservatives where they've really taken over this that space and they're trying to reach out and indoctrinate young girls earlier now too. They have a magazine called The Conservator, right? And basically, the idea is, they try to promote those fundamental patriarchal values in girls, so try to like reestablish that and really hype it up as this idea, which is great. I keep watching that show with Nathan. What's his name?
Nathan for you, Nathan
Yes.
Fieldman.
Yes, he does that show, and he does the one with where he's the co-parent with the girl, and she's like making him do all the farm work and shit. Like this is what that's the kind of life this magazine promotes. You know what I mean? Like this whole your husband will provide for you. And I'll tell you what, right now, as a heterosexual man, fuck that shit. Go get a job. Like I ain't here so you can sit on your ass all day. I'm sorry about that.
If I want to have any relationship with my children and my wife, it is literally impossible for you to survive on one income right now. I could do it if I was willing to work 60, 70 hours a week and get my overtime and all that kind of stuff. But I would literally just not get to see my kids growing up. And I'm certain that the point of being alive is not to work 70 hours a week and not watch my kids grow up. Like, I don't care. So, yes, my wife works. She's a nurse. It's sick. But, like, neither one of us are willing to work our lives away to miss things in life. You know what I mean? Like to miss our kids' games or to miss like my kids' graduation. Like I'm not doing that shit for a job. Who gives a fuck? It's just money.
No, exactly.
But it's impossible. It's impossible for real unless you're willing, like I said, to work your life away.
Yep, 1,000%. Yeah, so it's just dumb. It's just dumb. All of their ideals, they set these ideas up that people can't achieve, even if they wanted to. Even if that is something that appeals to you, the Republican Party does nothing to perpetuate that.
Nothing.
Like they do nothing to help with that. They do everything to widen that wealth gap and make it even harder and more impossible to do.
Instead of passing a bill to get rid of taxes on tips and taxes on overtime before implementing tariffs and essentially putting more taxes on Americans, they actually chose to go the route of more taxes first. And then maybe you'll get that other stuff.
Maybe. Now, at the expense of the national debt, but let's not. That's a whole other step.
Let's get back to Jake's straight hate.
Yep. Yeah. Let's talk about your nuclear families.
It's nuclear. We had a one of our comments, one of our commenters on Instagram pointed out that I said nuclear like Gomer Pyle. So it's nuclear. I don't know what it is. I don't fucking care either. With you, the lamest fucking comment. I kept on the comment and I was like, "Oh, this is what I wasted my time opening up Instagram for." Fuck. Yeah. So nuclear or whatever the fuck. Anyhow,
moral of the story is Pride better be bumping this year.
Yeah.
Oh, Trump's gonna have a fucking cow about this.
I'm so excited.
Can I share? Let me share a positive story on that. That like so in Hungary, where Viktor Orban has been in power for a long time, there is an uprising, a literal uprising now, and it has started as a pro-Pride movement and has stayed that way. So the whole country is united in Hungary behind Pride. So it's a big world out there. We're not, despite what Stephen Miller might have you believe, we are not all of it. And
crazy.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat because Orban is one of the ones who Trump models himself after. So, yep, pretty cool stuff. So that's something,
Mm-hmm.
We're rooting for them all out there. Get rid of that bastard.
Progress will win.
Hell yes.
Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but progress will win.
Yes, it will.
Or we will become extinct.
Yeah, exactly. or we won't have to worry about it anymore either way.
Yeah, right. Either way, it's not my fucking problem.
Either way, it's going to be fine.
Either progress wins or we die before it happens.
Yeah, we're gonna keep on fighting until the oxygen is unbreathable. That's it.
All this deregulation, I give it 8 weeks. No, I'm kidding. It won't be that. It won't be that fast. It won't be that fast.
No, it's fine. Fucking. All right. So y'all ready for mine?
Yeah, Gober Pile. What's your turd?
That's for our Gen Z audience. The Gomer Pyle reference. The so the yeah, exactly. The the waste, fraud, and abuse. Right? We all just want that waste, fraud, and abuse gone from our government, don't we? Like that's one thing we can all agree on. Is that all just about every segment on Fox starts? Just about every single segment on Fox News starts with, we all can agree that we want waste, fraud, and abuse eliminated from our government, right? Okay. So, what exactly does it mean to waste in the government? Well, waste refers to the careless, extravagant, or needless expenditure of taxpayer money or government property. Like, say, sending the president to the Super Bowl, or the Daytona 500, or golf trips, or defunding the national parks, which generate $2.6 billion in spending within the communities of the park, supporting nearly 415,400 jobs, resulting in 55.6 billion in economic output, mainly in restaurants and lodging, cutting the IRS by 1/3, drastically decreasing revenue instead of taxing the 1%, which is what the bill did last year. Last year, or year before last year, when Biden's IRS expansion came into place, the richest 1% began to pay parts of their taxes, and the deficit was actually shrunk. Matthew Desmond, in his book Poverty by America, estimates that simply collecting unpaid federal income taxes, this is without changing tax policy, by the way, from the top 1% of households would bring in some $175 billion a year, which could just about fill the entire poverty gap in America if the richest among us simply paid the taxes that they owed. But instead of that, all of the enforcement is gone. The only people paying taxes will be the people with W-2s. So, yay us. Anyway, so when we talk about waste, there has been fewer, more wasteful administrations than this one. Their deportation flights, instead of using the charter flights, they chose to use military airplanes because they look cooler on TV, I suppose. Or something about Donald Trump saw the movie Con Air and didn't want anything bad to happen to the pilot. But either way, it cost an extra $1 million a flight. So, plenty of those. And they're flying back these loads of, 25, 26 fucking deportees in a goddamn military airplane. So just an absolute extravagant nonsense waste of money. I don't know. God knows how much money we spent for Kristi Noem's hair extensions and fingernails to stand in front of a fucking concentration camp and normalize people being tortured. Like this is some kind of fucking joke. The extravagant, let's just call them gold fixtures that are being added to the White House everywhere. God only knows how much that's costing. The man is getting a new Air Force One plane because he's not happy with the one that they have from the country of Qatar, but let's keep that one for the fraud. But they're buying a whole new Air Force One because Trump doesn't like the one that they have. So this is and in this first month we are $220 billion over budget already. Spending year over year. And that's without paying half of the things that we were supposed to pay. So God only knows once these contracts that are being that they have to pay get paid, once they settle the lawsuits from all the wrongfully terminated employees, this will become one of the most costly and wasteful first 3 months of any presidency in the history of our country. By a mile. By a mile. So yeah, I'd love to eliminate some waste from the country. Let's get that waste out of the government. right? But, what about the fraud? Deceptive practices, often involving misrepresentation or concealment of facts to gain to gain unfair advantage or financial benefit, typically to the detriment of the government or the public. It can take various forms, including public corruption, procurement fraud, fraudulent claims, and statements. So Caroline Levitt, if you will, just or the entire propaganda system. All of these things, but probably the most blatant example, the most obvious one, is the stock market manipulation. We've all seen that firsthand, right? But easily the most devious is the crypto scams. Everything from the meme coin to World Liberty Financial becoming the first central bank of crypto, while Donald Trump's sons are running it while he is in office, clearly giving instructions via Truth Social to them about how to run the business. But please, for the love of God, what about Hunter Biden's laptop? And I believe that his father overheard a call that he made to fucking Burisma or something. But if you ever, ever mentioned Hunter Biden's name, if his name has ever touched your mouth, and this doesn't bother you, you can shut the fuck up for fucking ever. Period. This is insane. Insane. Jimmy Carter's peanut farm, man. And then this, right?
Yeah.
You gotta be out of your fucking mind.
Marjorie Taylor Greene clearly insider traded on them pausing tariffs. Very apparent. She has to release that to the public. And when we show it to them, because we're inevitably going to show it to them, do you think that they're going to care? Absolutely fucking not, dude.
But we can all agree we want to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse from our government, right?
The fact she's even allowed to own individual stocks while holding a position in the government is fucking crazy. Y'all bitching about the corrupt politicians. Stop letting them manipulate the stock market, you fucking idiot. Yeah. Vote for candidates that are going to not allow them to do that. Vote for candidates that are putting those bills into Congress.
There are several.
AOC. What
the
fuck? Sorry, I hate that shit.
Our future president. I would like as the editor-in-chief of our establishment. I want to, I say right here, right now, let's just endorse AOC for president. I'm fucking for it. I don't think I don't want to see it
for the past couple of years.
So I mean, I don't think
why not.
Yeah, nothing's going to change my mind. So
yeah, her and the homie PDB need to get together and figure it out.
For sure. We'll be the first publication to officially endorse Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for president in 2028.
You're welcome,
Cortez and Buttigieg 2028.
Yeah, it's a lock. Stone cold lead pipe lock.
Well, if they keep hating women, they might have to flip the ticket.
Listen,
but
I hate it.
If you don't want to get laid ever again, y'all better give it up. I mean, please. Jesus.
Remember how good it all felt when Mamala was in charge?
Yeah, that brief moment.
Bring the women back.
Like a sweet breeze. Clearly, though, she was too emotional for this. I think Trump on fucking ABC having a fucking hissy fit because somebody tried to tell him that a Photoshop picture was photoshopped. But yes, women, super emotional. So, so back to fraud. You guys like fraud, right? Everybody's saying it. New member for Senate Democrats. Elon Musk used Doge to evade oversight, derail investigations, and make litigation disappear on his terms and at his command. As of Inauguration Day, Musk and his companies were facing at least 65 actual or potential actions from 11 federal agencies. Many of those threats have been neutralized to the tune of $2 billion. Not to mention the $38 billion in subsidies that he has already secured to date, and even more with the things like the Starlink contract, which he stole from Verizon while running Doge, the Cybertrucks that he sold to the military, and God knows how much he will be getting from the space program. So, yeah, I want to talk about some fraud. Let's talk about Elon fucking Musk, bro.
Let's talk about how he avoided $60 billion potentially having to pay. He he's improved his wealth by $60 billion. And all it cost him was $247 million to buy the election.
Man, is that a good return? I'm not a finance
Dude,
guy.
I don't know, but if you put it on a fucking stock chart right now, it looks very fucking good, dude. 1
So
year,
straight up and down,
247 million.
backwards.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
it was just like this for 6 months, and then pew, like, yeah.
I'd say like a rocket ship, but not like his. They kind of go, man. So yeah, we'll talk about some fucking fraud. That man is an absolute fraud. The shareholders of Tesla know it now, and they called for his resignation. Supposedly, we'll see. I'd love to see that one happen, though. It'd be funny as hell. Man needs help. He just needs help in every way. He's addicted to the money, maybe sex or masturbating into a cup. I'm not sure, but definitely like ketamine, probably some kind of upper too. Obviously, I mean nobody stays up that much. No one. Probably meth. We'll see. We'll find out. We will find out. So, what about abuse? What about abuse? The abuse. And no, we're not talking about child sex abuse, but if we were, I'd have plenty of examples of the GOP for that one too. In government, abuse refers to the improper, unreasonable, or excessive use of power of authority. Boy, that sounds so familiar. Where have I seen this? Often for personal gain or to the detriment of others. It can involve actions that violate laws, not this administration, policies, or ethical standards. What are those? And can take various forms, including corruption, excessive regulations, unfair practices, and unjustified interference. So, within weeks of taking office, Trump's DOJ moved to drop ongoing investigations, prosecutions involving serious violations of campaign finance, including, of course, famously, Mayor Eric Adams, for the purpose of using him to enforce their policies. So I think that about covers all of those talking points just right there in that one little thing. But also any and all campaign finance. But weirdly enough, Bob Menendez, the Democratic senator who was also accused of campaign finance and proven guilty in court, did not receive a pardon. Interesting. Yeah. It also sends a signal to political lobbyists that it's fucking open season. They dismantled anti-corruption and foreign influence programs, ending monitoring and enforcement efforts that are vital to combating corruption, like, say the CFPB, the Federal Elections Commission dismantled. Pam Bondi dismantled the Foreign Influence Task Force to combat foreign interference in elections from places like, what's that place that Trump really hates? Russia and China. So disbanded a group of DOJ task force that were seizing the assets of Russian oligarchs. Scaled back the enforcement of Corruption Practices Act, foreign lobbyist reporting requirements, and rules requiring the disclosure of shell companies' beneficial owners. This is exhausting. Firing officials who monitor and enforce ethics laws like the inspectors general. And all this while he's running real estate deals all over the Middle East, holding live golf tournaments at his personal residence, I guess, at Mar-a-Lago, selling meme coin, and running World Liberty Financial through his sons, going after law firms, going after universities. I'm just out of breath. I'm not out of material. But yes, I think that we can all agree that we would like to get rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse in our government. Impeach Donald J. Trump immediately. That's my turn.
See, this is my thing. They throw so much in their faces all the time. They do it to us too, obviously. Like, we have so much thrown in our faces all the time that people don't understand the little stuff that's happening. Like, everything you talked about the elections, they have no idea that that's happening. They want to talk about how the Democrats try and cheat elections and this, that, and the other. But, like, they're actively putting lobbyists directly into our government. They are giving them full access to our members of Congress by doing this kind of stuff. They are excited about foreign influence in our elections, essentially. Like, that's what they're allowing. And they don't see that because that's all the stuff they do behind the scenes, stuff that they're not gonna bring to the forefront. But all you have to do is just just the smallest amount of independent research. Obviously, you have to search things. People just take everything for scripture that they see on social media, and it's becoming a real problem because this is the reality of things. They get into office in their first 100 days. They're trying to make sure that we allow outside interference from foreign nations in our elections. They want to make sure that lobbyists can pay to influence our elections. That's what they do in the first 100 days. Still no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, but they have assured that we can put lobbyists into our government and allow them to influence the politics of America.
Yep. You see what their priorities are. When that Trump meme coin was tanking, Trump instituted a contest. So the top 220 holders of his meme coin would be given direct access to the President of the United States to a dinner at Mar-a-Lago. To the top 220 crypto holders, which immediately spiked the coin. I don't want to make up a number. It's just not me. Significantly. Well over, yeah. Which, now, Trump, there's no proof that they've cashed in any of their meme coins as of yet, although I believe they are now eligible to do so. But the point is that every single transaction goes directly into the bank account of the President of the United States of America. So he is making money directly. At least he's not taking the salary, huh? Good for him. What a fucking grand champion.
I laugh every time they say that.
Oh my God. I'm going to have a stroke if I keep talking. I'm going to.
Are you gonna fucking roll us out with the Unilever disc or what?
No Unilever. I'm going after Jeff again.
Sick.
Yep. All right, let's take our first break. Of course, we have no corporate sponsors, so instead, let me take a minute again to say fuck you, Jeff Bezos. There is zero excuse for your monopolistic mega corporation to exist at all. Never in a million years should any business have been allowed to do what Amazon has done to commerce in this country. You had one chance this week to utilize this larger than the government power and influence to use your evil for just a fucking little bit of good, simply by being honest about tariffs with consumers, and instead, you cowered like the bitch you are and you fucking blew it. And now we're all gonna suffer because you want to lick an old man's shit-covered shoes. You're a real piece of shit, Jeff. We'll be back.
Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads.
All right, guys. Got that one out of the way. Now let's talk about some good stuff. First, show me your internet. Jake, what do you got?
A shaved hole is a busy hole because you will never see grass on a used road.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Yeah. Direct quote from Oprah.
Direct. Completely direct. Until proven wrong.
Absolutely. That's great.
And you know it's good when Grindr has a comment on the video.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Man. Yeah, I've seen that blurb on the back of one of her book club books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's just so funny, dude. The AI makes her look like majestic as she said it.
I love when they do that.
Yeah, I love the generic ass guitar music in the background too. It's not like the waiting room of a fucking rub and tug. Not that I would know. Anyway.
Try to plug a local business.
Just need a sponsor, man. All right, Brad. What did the internet bring you this week?
I don't know if y'all are on the side of. I don't know if y'all are on the side of 100 men versus one gorilla TikTok right now. I think everybody is. But dude, it's so funny, bro.
It's so fucking funny.
I don't know.
I love my favorite's 100 men versus the concept of empathy.
It's beautiful.
Love it.
Behind trends as I am, I was right on top. I recognized that trend right away. That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
So funny. It's so funny. The debates about it are so hilarious.
I mean,
I was so confused this morning. I opened Threads, and one of the people I follow was like, "I got something about 100 men versus a gorilla." And I'm like, "Is there a video?" Shit. Yeah, no, I was definitely pro gorilla though.
have you ever seen those videos of those people making those war things? It's like 1,000 ostriches against like Barack Obama.
Yeah, they're like computer simulations.
Yeah. Yeah, I watch everyone. I watch it through to the end.
Well, I watched one simulation, and it was the silverback gorilla versus 100 men, and the silverback gorilla just ran around doing the Donkey Kong barrel smash and killed them all.
Hell yeah. Donkey Kong. That's great. I love that. All right. You know, sometimes reality is greater than fiction. Here's mine.
Donald, tell us what the Declaration of Independence is. And remember, this is the document in which we declared independence.
Of course, you have the Declaration of Independence.
What does it mean to you?
Well, it means exactly what it says. It's a declaration. It's a declaration of unity and love and respect, and it means a lot. And it's something very special to our country.
Look at Terry Moran's face. He looks like a teacher about to call the school psychologist. This is a great drawing. Stay right here. But of course he'd make that face. Trump said that the Declaration of Independence meant unity. Unity is the opposite of independence. How did Trump find the one time that unity and love is the wrong answer? What makes this even more sad is that the Declaration of Independence is basically the colonies filing for divorce. It's the one thing Trump should absolutely recognize.
All right, it's the look on dude's face. Like, what the fuck? Can I just say that Terry Moran is our hero for the week? Right? Can we agree to that?
It felt like an SNL skit. Like, it felt like it was scripted.
Right. Oh my God, you're right. It did. It was so ridiculous. It was almost like he was making fun of himself.
Like they were overacting. Like I was like, whoa. Whoa.
Dial it back, guys. Nobody's gonna. Oh my God, dude! The Declaration of Independence.
That was great. That was great.
Unreal. He has no clue.
None.
He has no clue. People can talk about having sundown.
There's a conspiracy theory that he can't read.
Oh yeah. No,
yeah.
I know. A conspiracy theory is like aliens are inhabiting the bodies of humans. The president can't read is, near fact. Like that's I would almost guarantee that one. That's
Pete
crazy.
Davidson, when he did SNL, said that Trump was just like, I'm not going to do what's on this script here. I'll just wing it.
Right. I believe it. Which I heard Christopher Walken does that too, but who knows?
That could be, dude. That generation just can't read for real.
Yeah. Or doesn't care to.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Trump didn't have to do anything he didn't want to. So if he never cared to read,
yeah, right.
He didn't have to.
People forget he's a nepo baby.
It does. The only argument against it is, the man is pretty good at quoting Mein Kampf. So maybe his nurse read it to him when he was falling asleep. Who knows?
I like my suitcase.
I go to school now?
Dude, the tattoos thing. Like, is he... I gotta ask you guys this. I've been just dying to ask this question since I've seen it. So, is he so stupid that he buys it, or so dishonest that he's selling it? Jake, go.
Dishonest. I don't think you.
He's stupid.
No,
Why? Why is he?
it's just dishonest. He's backed so far into this fucking corner of his own like delusion that it's just like dishonesty just spews out of him. There's
Yeah.
no actual truth that comes out of the man's mouth. It's not
Yeah.
stupidity. He thinks he's winning. He thinks he's still good. I truly believe that he still thinks he's the greatest thing. And it's not a part. He's not
Yeah,
stupid.
no, it's not a bit. He definitely thinks he's the greatest thing ever.
And
That
he will
is-
defend himself to the facts in his face. You've seen it done.
I really think that he believes that in Times New Roman on Abrego Garcia's knuckles, it is MS13. I really think that he believes that in Times New Roman on the man's knuckles.
I just see him sitting there at the desk, and the people are showing this one's the photoshopped one, this one's not, and he goes, "Okay, good," and that's it. That's what I think happened.
Oh my god! Can I just say too? The tattoos on Abrego Garcia's knuckles mean smoke weed, love God, die happy, or something like that. Like it's not. That's what it means. It's a pretty common four-finger tattoo, and it's a pot lover's tattoo. It's not a MS-13 tattoo again, because MS-13 tattoos are just MS-13. Like that's
Which is not in Times New Roman.
no, nope, not in number 12. Ah, man, yeah. So I could see it either way. Could be stupid, could be, but I mean, it's impossible to tell. It really is, because you can the same argument that it applies to both things. Like people are blowing smoke so hard up his ass that he could both remain that stupid and or lie that hard, and no matter what it is, no one around him is calling him on it. No one. You've seen these cabinet meetings, and then he goes and runs off to a rally in Michigan so he could be around 4,000 people who chant USA to pictures of people being sent into torture prisons. So the man is
Bernie saying, did you see Bernie calling him out, saying that he had twice as many there like a week
Dude,
before?
that was so funny. He congratulated him on a smaller crowd. It was hilarious.
Yeah, Bernie trolling has
They're
been.
huge. The crowds are huge.
This
I
is
saw
like
the video.
I
It
love
looked
the
like,
Bernie.
like the Black Friday deal that like only certain people wanted. That's
Yeah.
what it looked like. It was like pitiful. There was more at the protest of the people going to the thing than there was
hoping for.
at the rally.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Great to see.
definitely more protests today for May Day. Happy May Day, guys. Than it was for that rally. So that was great to see too. Love that. Love it. For sure. Yeah, Bernie, this version of Bernie is great. It's like when Gandalf dies and comes back as Gandalf the White, and he's like better. We have Bernie the White now. We've got the best version of Bernie, period.
He just knows that he's got nothing to lose.
That is so true, and I love it. And
He's
so
lived his whole life like that already, so it's kind of like great to see like the mittens come off.
He's legitimately telling it like it is.
Yeah.
He's just like, here's the facts. And people are like, no,
Weirdest thing
billionaires
ever.
love us.
those mittens made me fall in love with him so much more. So stinking cute.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. Man,
They don't.
this state's amazing too. Anyway, so yeah, Bernie trolling Trump. It's pretty good. What else is good?
Hilarious.
Brad, what do you got that's good this week?
Eli hit a new PR and won his last track meet for discus. That boy be chucking that thing. We got a game all the way out in fucking Cleveland, essentially, for him for soccer this weekend. But this is like prime kid sports season. So like Eli plays 2 sports, she plays 1. It's, all we do is sports, but I love it. I wouldn't miss it. So
I live that
That's
shit. I know how it is.
that's what's going on.
Yep.
Been there. Baseball games in 3 different locations on the same weekend. Been
For
there.
sure.
Yep.
Changing uniforms in the car.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. Put on your least dirty pair of baseball pants.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's great though, man. Those are good memories. So that's great that he's doing that. I'm glad he's doing well.
So much fun. I say it was, but it was so much fun. I had a blast. As a kid, I had a blast. We were getting fast food, going to the next game. I was having a blast.
Oh yeah, good time. Good time. All right, Jake, tell me what's good in your life this week.
After this, I'm excited to watch Tina Fey's new show on Netflix, 4 seasons.
Ooh.
That's what I'm going to do after that.
That's out.
That's today. And Met Gala, the 5th. So that's my favorite event of the year. I don't give a shit about any award shows or anything. I am so excited for the Met Gala. So
Nice. Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. I love it. I didn't know Tia's show came out this week. I'm excited for that too. It's cool. I am personally glad to be finally watching the rehearsal.
Have you seen that? I'm sorry I died. I'm in heaven now.
Dude, I remember Nathan For You on Comedy Central when it came out, and it was so weird. Nobody liked it. I was like, I kind of dig it. Like, it's funny.
That's my favorite type of humor. Love it. Love it.
He's not afraid to like allow things to get awkward as fuck.
Love it.
So I mean, he really pushes the envelope, and that show's just, oh my god, so over the top. I love it. I love it. It's me. It's me all over. So
I'm sorry you died. Why does he sound like that?
That's my little sane piece for this week. Ooh, and the pit comes back after a short break, so it's not going to be gone for very long. So I'm happy about that too. It should be by the fall, I think. Oh, you know what I wanted to say before we go, going back to Jake's turn, is that Riley Gaines received 6th place. She came in 6th. She was no day. She didn't lose her scholarship because of anyone except for Riley Gaines. End of story. Like, that's all I have. Also, 0 trans people arrested for sex crimes. Several harassed.
It's so crazy. That's why they're pushing it so freaking hard.
It's nuts. It's never happened. It's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, I would be a good long time.
I'm so excited so many queer activists are invited to the Met Gala. So excited. Dochi's going.
Yeah. Need stuff like that. There's cultural pushbacks, especially when things like the Kennedy Center hosting fucking bluegrass with Kid Rock night or whatever they're doing now.
Mm.
So, yeah. I don't know. That's pretty good for me. That was a great show, guys. Thanks a lot.
I think so.
That's the show for this week. If you like what we do, please pledge on Substack to the cause, like and subscribe on YouTube, rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, share our bullshit on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, and tell your friends, man. That all helps. T-shirts have been ordered. Subscribers have a chance to order at 10% of the cost as soon as they are available. Leave a comment on any of our social media. Haters are welcome. Haters are very welcome. Bring it, haters. Give us a business that deserves roasting. Just say hey, do whatever, man. But thank you for being part of the Derealization Nation. So until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that is what's left.